live on YouTube and Substack. And Chris, you and I are taking a real gamble here. We're going to let ourselves talk about a sport that we know nothing about, but our esteemed guests know so much about. Elaine Lowe, the angler, and Joyce Ang of Gold Derby, beloved return guest to this show. Thank you guys so much for being here. Elaine, special credit for waking up so early to talk about tennis. But as you told us, if it's for tennis, you'll do it, right?
Absolutely. And the Wimbledon draw's out today. So what better reason to be up early?
And Joyce, are you feeling the same Wimbledon draw energy that you could just like run all day on tennis vibes?
Of course. Absolutely. Like 5 a.m. That's when I was up. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the name of tennis, you have to. You guys are both some of our favorite people to talk about Hollywood with. Obviously, Joyce, you're a beloved returning guest to get deep on Oscar nerdery. But you both are such tennis fans that we wanted to bring you together on this auspicious day of the Wimbledon draw. And I mean, Chris, we like talking to these guys anyway. Are you excited to learn about tennis? Are you intimidated by the sheer level of knowledge here on this call?
I mean, I definitely don't know as much as Joyce and Elaine, but
Chris has heard me talk about tennis before.
I love talking tennis with Joyce. We used to do this and I would just listen to Joyce talk about tennis.
Because we got questions,
we
fan
always used to get listener
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
excited.
see.
And
So-
people would ask me tennis questions. So.
I my tennis knowledge stopped, I think, probably in the 90s. I remember.
wow.
Like a lot of
that's-
things.
yeah.
Not even like the
That's true.
Williamses? Like, is that?
No.
I mean, they're
Oh.
90s.
I guess so.
Like,
So
or
like
mid-90s.
jean
I was
shorts,
more like-
Agassi, that's kind
yeah,
of like the era.
Agassi, like Pete Sampras, Michael Chang, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, did you watch the '89 French Open?
I mean,
You
probably.
were 10
Probably.
when that happened.
Jim Courier.
So.
My tennis story is this. We used to go to the U.S. Open every once in a while.
Oh, sure.
And my mom got shoved by Jim Courier because he was a dick. He was like coming around a corner and like pushed my mom. So we always
Was he
fuck
like
Jim
on his way
Courier.
to a
I think
match?
he was. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
So
so
he
you
had
have to get out of
something
the
to
way.
He
Like,
did. But
well,
that was,
now,
like, our
well,
big thing. I
well,
was
back
like,
then,
oh,
like
Jim
they
Courier.
were kind of lax with like security, but now, like when you go to U.S. Open and like the players are just going to practice and they might be going to a court far away, like maybe they're going to grandstand, which is really far from the locker rooms. They have like a whole pool of security around them now, but fans will still like swarm them and follow them. But the security will just protect them, so you can't get as close.
So
to
my
them
mom wouldn't
anymore.
have gotten shoved. What you're
Yeah.
saying, if we
Yeah,
were there
yeah.
now.
But that shows a story that no one else can ever have. It was a unique thing
great.
in
It was great.
history.
But anyway,
Fun
that's it.
fact, I got shoved at the Indian Wells earlier this year. Got shoved out of the way from the back. I turn around, it's a security guard, and I'm like, why did I just get shoved out of the
Wow.
way? And then I see Venus Williams and her entourage walking down.
Get
and I
out
said,
of
you
the
can shove
way."
me anytime, Venus.
Well, I voluntarily got shoved by Juan Martín del Potro because I was watching his practice match.
a tall
and
guy.
I know, and he was like doing stretches, and then he did like a lap around the court, and he was high-fiving everyone because it was one of the outer courts, so he was high-fiving everyone around the court, and then I was filming him, and then he got closer to me, and I like froze, and I like didn't know like whether to like high-five him or just like step out the way and keep filming. So then he just like smacked my camera in my hand. So I have this video of just like him like coming around and then my camera just like shaking and then
You
there's
just
like
see his massive hand.
yeah,
the
it's
last
just
thing
like
in the frame.
smacking. Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion that you can just ask politely for people to move? Has that never occurred to any of these tennis people?
Well, no, because people don't
It's a
listen.
trend. We
It's
have a
peop-
trend here.
People
It's a
don't
trend.
listen. But also, like, this was him just high-fiving people. It was just me being stupid. Like,
I was like,
Okay,
step
okay.
on my neck, Venus.
yeah. Yeah. Like, there are people, like if you've ever been to, like, a Grand Slam or just, like, any, like, tennis tournament, like, there are some crazy fans who just will not listen and they're just seeking autographs, like, especially kids with the giant tennis balls now. Like, they'll shove anyone out of the way. And, like, the worst is, like, when you're at a match and it's like, oh, it's like someone's going to serve for the match or it's like match point and the kids just descend onto the court because they just want autographs. And then sometimes like the match is not over because the person broke back or like, you know, they won the set. So then the security have to like tell them to go back to their seats.
Dang.
It's
I'm just
crazy.
imagining if like Zendaya's like a security team were like shoving people that like they would get mad about it. I feel like for these tennis stars, like everyone wants their neck to be stepped on more than with actual actors. So I mean, maybe properly. Okay, so Elaine, as the person who got up early, you have a tennis. Your tennis team is playing in match tomorrow. I think I got all those words right.
We are in. So I play in a USTA rec league. I play very mediocre tennis. I play at like the 3.0, 3.5 level, which is just
I don't know if I'm buying
straight
it.
like lower to intermediate. And we are in the playoffs next week. And my winter team actually made it through sectionals and is going to nationals in the fall. So in October, my entire team and I get to fly to Mobile, Alabama to play at nationals against a bunch of other teams from across the country because that is how much money apparently we will spend on being mediocre tennis players.
I think
I love Alabama.
Yeah, of all the places I would have thought that, I don't know why I wouldn't expect Mobile, but I don't know why you would pick Mobile.
I didn't know, neither did I. But apparently, they have one of the largest public tennis court facilities in the country. At the Mobile Tennis Center, there are over 60 tennis courts, and I've never seen that many tennis courts in one place before. So I'm excited.
Yeah, sights to behold. I mean, before we get into the Wimbledon draw, which happened today, Wimbledon starts in a couple of days. I just kind of wanted Elaine and then Joyce also to talk about your tennis origin stories. Like, Elaine, what grabbed you about this sport? Obviously, you're playing it. You're also following it. When did this all start for you?
I played in high school, not with any real conviction. Our coach was the sophomore year algebra teacher. I don't think I ever really learned proper form. Got really into
classic high school sports.
Exactly, yeah. Then put it down for about 20 years, picked it up again like so many other people during the pandemic because I just needed something that was outdoors. It was bouncing off the walls and indoors, and I think it was like 21, late 21, maybe early 22. I just needed something to do, and it was like tennis, perfect. It's outdoors. You're socially distant because you're both on opposite sides of the net. I still kind of got to meet some new people that way. And I remember going to just a local class in the neighborhood and the instructor being like, well, if you really get into it, what you need to do is actually play outside of this class and like practice more. And I remember thinking, yeah, like I'm going to have time or make time for that. Cut to today, and I captained several teams, and
your family is on a trip without you, so that you can play more tennis.
Is back in Chicago without me, so I can play at playoffs this weekend. So you know how the tides have turned.
All right, Joyce, when did tennis grab you? How did this start?
I've always just watched it. Like I mean, I love all sports, and I really started watching sports when I was a kid with my dad. But like the sports we watched the most when I was a kid were basketball and baseball. So we just watched like Knicks and Mets.
Oh, so you've had a big month then with the Knicks.
Oh, absolutely. My first crush was Patrick Ewing. So it was huge for me. And the big Mets news today, as like 10 minutes ago or like 20 minutes ago now, as Chris is well aware of.
I didn't text you, Joyce, but I'm so excited.
I know.
They fired their manager. They fired their manager.
Oh,
finally. Yeah.
Okay.
Really, really, really tough.
Yeah.
We'll do a tight 25 on the Mets at the end.
Okay.
Of the season.
I did watch the clip of the Mets giving up a lead and then a bunch of Norwegians doing a conga line in the outfield.
That went viral.
That was the Viking
It's
bro.
not a great month for the Mets.
It's not a great year for so it's like
decade.
it's you know it's like the yin and yang. You know, you have the Knicks. So I really wasn't paying attention to the Mets because like they were flopping so hard anyway for the past 2 months. This month, but yeah, the past 2 or 3 games because it was a doubleheader on Wednesday. Not great, Bob. But anyway, I like my dad like watched tennis too, but like I just started watching it more and more myself because it's also more time consuming because matches could go on for hours, you know. So yeah, like I've always watched it when I was a kid, and I still live 10 minutes away from the U.S. Open. So
pretty good flex.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
I still go every year. It's really easy for me to get. I don't play at all. That's the thing. I always say I'm a frustrated athlete. Like I think in a past life I was an athlete because I love watching like every single sport. Like my faves are tennis and Olympics, just like any Olympic sport. But I can't play anything. I can't do anything. I have no upper body strength. So when people find out like I love tennis, they always ask if I can play. I'm like, no, I can't.
But you also refuse to play pickleball. I think we'll get into pickleball more later. But
pickleball is like that I can like I can actually play because it doesn't require a lot of strength, you know. But I would refuse to play. Yeah. But in second grade, my second grade teacher, she was also obsessed with tennis, and her first name was actually Joyce. She was obsessed with tennis and calligraphy, and she made the entire class buy tennis rackets. Like we got notes sent home to our parents being like, we need like $25 like so we can order tennis rackets and calligraphy pens. So like during class she would just like take us outside and we would hit balls against the wall.
That sounds
great. Or we would learn calligraphy in the classroom.
What a great second graders are so impressionable. Like you can change their entire lives by making them buy tennis rackets. What a great
and I still like remember that racket. It had a purple frame and a neon green handle.
Ooh.
It was a Wilson.
Very, very solid 90s aesthetics there. Okay, so we're talking the morning of the Wimbledon draw, which when we were trying to set this up, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know what that was going to be. I have casually watched Wimbledon. Actually, I don't think I ever saw the movie Wimbledon, which maybe
great film.
Is it great?
It's right up your alley, I think.
I know, it does seem like it does seem like something that I would like.
Better than challengers.
Oh,
So.
wow.
We'll talk about that.
Right. We're gonna table challenges for later. But the Wimbledon draw happened today, and even before we started recording, you guys were kind of already like salivating over the matchups. And the thing that I want to get into kind of over and over again is like the star power of tennis feels to me very relatable as someone who loves movies. The idea of these personalities going head to head. So in these Wimbledon draws, what are we excited about? What are the narratives you're seeing from this already?
The big one is obviously Serena Williams making her comeback after 4 years off of the court. She retired, but never like officially retired. She evolved away from tennis, quote unquote, were her words.
Is that just a strategic thing to be like, you never know, I'll come back?
Yeah, and then the thing was like she re-entered the drug testing pool in the fall, and she kept denying that she was returning, but like that's a precursor to returning to tennis. But you
don't take a drug test for fun.
Yeah, like even she was on the Today Show last year, and Savannah, who's a huge tennis fan, she was grilling her about it.
It's like lightly pressing her. And
yeah,
she's like,
and she kept trying to dodge it, and she even tweeted like, "Oh my God, guys, I'm not returning." This was back in like December.
Dang, just
and
it's
like,
lie,
why would you rejoin the drug testing pool if you're not gonna play in some capacity?
Is it just her in case like she gets injured or in case she's not up for it that she can back out and save face? Is that why you do that?
Probably. I mean, she's 44 now, and it's been 4 years, nearly 4 years since her last official match. But then she re-entered, and she's playing doubles with her sister, which is always really fun. And now she's actually got a wild card for the singles draw, which is going to be really exciting. And her first match, the draw came out this morning. It's against some 20-year-old.
Maya joined, who has not won a match in like 400 years, so that'll be
She's like
easy.
3-15 or something over the last year.
So she has her round one, so she should be able to get through that. Because the thing with Serena is because her serve and her strokes will always be there. But now, because of her age, is like the movement, like can she get out of the corners?
Like, is she fast enough to?
Yeah,
to
like that's the
the
thing.
ones? Yeah,
and I think she also wants to come back because obviously she's been promoting that she's been on, her GLP-1 drugs and she lost a bunch of weight. So I think she's
also a stakeholder in that company, right? Like,
yeah,
is she making
exactly.
her
husband is, yeah,
great. Sounds nice. Good for you.
So I think that's also why she wants to do this comeback as well. And it's funny because like initially she said I was only going to do doubles, and then she played doubles in Queens with Victoria Mboko, who got injured, and she's actually out of Wimbledon, and then she like took this wild card in singles. So then I think she'll get through Maya, and then second round she has Alexandra Yela, who's this up and coming Filipino star. So
that'll be a fun one.
That'll be a fun one. Like she's good, and she like the Filipino fans are like the Brazilian fans. Like they travel.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
and Yella has proven herself to be quite good on grass.
Yeah.
So.
And then if she gets through that, round 3 is Iga Swiatek, defending champion, who's not having a great year. She hasn't made a final yet. Last year she was a surprise winner of Wimbledon because she's a clay court specialist. And she was having a rough year last year on clay, and then she was a surprise winner at Wimbledon. And this year, she's kind of like the top 4 in the women's rankings are not doing so hot in a lot of ways. So that'll be interesting because they've also never played before on tour.
Does that make this a prime moment for Serena to come back if the top 4 women are not doing so well? Like, are the expectations really high?
It feels like the field is kind of open.
Yeah, like there's always been a lot of depth even before Serena retired. Like, I mean, she had her first daughter in 2017 and she's played for a couple years after that, and she made 4 more Grand Slam finals, but she lost them all to a lot of like up and coming talent, to like Bianca Andreescu, who has a bunch of injuries, and she actually just qualified for Wimbledon this year. Like that was her last one in the US Open in 2019. So I think like even when she was coming back from her pregnancy, like she might have lost a little bit of that like mental toughness that she's also been known for. So it'll be interesting to see how, like, because now she's since had a second kid too. And so it's like she's been so far removed and from that, you know, just like the winning feeling almost, or actually the winning feeling, and yeah, like, and I think like the field has gotten better. And I don't think her goal is to get back at number 1. I think she can beat like a bunch of people along the way, like lower ranked people. But if you think about it, like the players in their prime who are like top 10, top 15 should be able to beat her.
So there's this thing that happens with so many athletes. I feel like it happens every Olympics, as the people who are like, no, I can come back, I can do this. And then they're kind of a shadow of their former selves. Like, is Serena risking this? I don't think she can do anything to like ruin her legacy at this point. But does it feel like too much of a gamble to try to say, look, I can get back and do this at 44 and beat some of these younger people and risk failing?
What I have liked seeing over the last couple of years are players who have had kids who are moms and then come back on the court.
That's right. We like it when moms do things.
Yeah, like Taylor Townsend, Joyce. Who else am I missing?
Elena Svitolina.
Yes, Svitolina.
Belena Bencic.
And come back in pretty fine form. And I mean, that's not an easy thing to do.
No. I mean, Kim Clijsters is the poster child for that, really, because
Yeah.
she did that in 2009. But she was also pretty young because she retired completely out of nowhere in 2007 just to get married and have kids. And then she had her first kid in 2008. And then she came back a year and a half later because she played at Wimbledon Exa with Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf. And she's like, maybe I'll come back. And then she played 3 tournaments and then won a U.S. Open in 2009.
Sounds like Alyssa Liu. Like I'm just trying to.
But she didn't have a kid.
Oh, that's
so.
true. That's true. So she's nothing compared to.
Alyssa is not a mom.
Yeah, listen. What are you trying to do?
So I like that part of the narrative, right? 44-year-old mom comes back on the
Yeah,
court.
like Kim was a 24-year-old mom. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's worth the risk, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't tarnish a 23 Grand Slam.
No, like
legacy.
her legacy is fine. Like
Yeah.
all this is doing is going to delay her induction into the Hall of Fame. That's it.
We can look
So.
forward to that. Are there any? So what are the other interesting women's side narratives? Like who has a story that we want to follow?
I mean, Arina Sabalenka, she's number one. She's like undisputed number one, but she is having an off year into slams, and then she kind of had an off year last year as well. Like she only won 1 slam last year in the U.S. Open, and this year she made the Australian Open final and lost that to Elena Rybakina, who is number 2, and like she's also like it's like she's had chances to get to number 1 and she hasn't been able to like, cross the hurdle.
Are they like a same generation players?
Yes,
Okay.
they're and I mean Arena's a little bit older, but she kind of like
She's in
peaked
what, like
later.
her late 20s, Arena?
She's 28.
Yeah.
So and then at the French, which everyone like she was number 1 seed obviously, so like she was the pick to win, especially because like the French was crazy this year, and the men's side was crazier, but the women's side, like there were a lot of upsets early on. Like Coco Gauff lost 3rd round. She's defending champion last year. She came back to beat Arena in the final, and so then it felt like this was Arena's to lose this year. And then she completely imploded in the quarterfinal. She got bageled in 3rd set, which is
What does
6
that
love.
mean?
6 love. So it's that's called the bakery.
Didn't
So
win a
it's
single
6
game.
Yeah, 6 love is a bagel and 6-1 is a breadstick. So, but
I think
she
I see where this is coming from.
yeah, so she got bageled by Deanna Schneider, and I was just like, what the hell? So like the thing with Arena is like she's a power hitter, so it's like big babe tennis. So if she's off her game, she doesn't really have a plan B, and I think she's kind of like mentally in her head like right now too, because I think she feels pressure to win more slams, and like because she's older than the people behind her, like the rest of the top 5. And she already has 4 slams, but like they're all on hard courts. It's like Naomi Osaka, and then so then the grass court season started after the French, and then she also got bageled in the 3rd last week by Jessica Pegula. So it's like she doesn't have that like killer. It's like something's happening in the 3rd set with her.
Yeah, when she starts to unravel, it really starts to go.
And
But
like this feels
otherwise-
like this is what was happening with her. Like the late 2010s and like early 2020s before she became the number 1, like she would implode like this.
Yeah, but she kind of like got it together over the last few years and
Yeah.
has been on a real streak.
So this is the comeback moment for her at Wimbledon, basically.
I think it's more of like a big test moment for her. It's like, can
you keep the status quo?
Yeah, because it's like it's not a great, it's like she only has she currently only holds 1 slam, and that's the U.S. Open.
And
coming up.
28, tell me if you disagree, Joyce. 28 kind of feels like that moment in a tennis player's career where it's like, I'm either going to make it real big, I'm going to win a few slams, or it's downhill from here. And you see that on the men's side with sorry, my dog is also going nuts for tennis. You see it on the men's side where you had sort of the supposed big 3, big 4 that were supposed to succeed Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic. And it's this cluster of guys who are now in their late 20s. It's, Daniil Medvedev, who I love.
Medvedev's
and
the best.
Tsitsipas and, Zverev, who finally, controversially, just won his first Grand Slam at the French Open. He has some domestic abuse allegations against him. He's a very controversial figure. But this was sort of the cohort that was supposed to succeed the big three, the real big three, and they never quite rose to the occasion. And now you have these real young guns coming in.
The next
Carlos
gen.
Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner. These are the guys who have just leapfrogged over them, and they're 23, 24 right now, and had started winning a couple of years ago already.
Yeah, like the 90s gen is the lost gen. They just, because of the big three, they just did not
like they
win.
were born in the 90s.
They were born in the 90s.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So like the big three is 80s babies. And I mean, like, not to sound corny, but it's like, I feel really privileged to have witnessed the entire big three era. And it's
100%.
like, and like they're my generation too, because like we're all around the same age, like I'm older than most of them actually. But it's crazy because I'm like, I mean, I remember when Pete Sampras retired, I was like, oh, like no one's gonna hit 14, like no guy, and then three of them pass him easily, and so it's crazy, and like because they were just eating up all the slams for so long, the 90s gen became the lost gen in tennis Twitter parlance.
This feels very like boomers not retiring and like just like taking
Yes.
up all the energy. Except there are
Yeah.
millennials doing it.
These poor
Finally, we get to do
millennials got
something.
leapfrogged.
So it's like
No, they were the elder millennials are the
Oh, yeah.
victors here. Which, as an elder millennial, I'm very happy.
Yeah, so like Dominic Thiem won the 2020 U.S. Open, which was the COVID slam. So a lot of players didn't play, and that was the one where like everyone thought like Nole was gonna win, but he got defaulted because he accidentally hit a line judge with a ball because he just like smacked the ball back like without paying attention, and it hit her in the neck, and that was like, this whole thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, so like he got kicked out of the tournament, so like Dominic Thiem won that one.
Wait, you can get kicked out. So like, presumably it was an accident that he hit.
It was
her,
an
but,
accident,
like,
yeah,
it's
and he
still-
apologized and everything. Yeah,
But
so,
it was still just like you're out of here for.
Yeah.
Sportsmanship and etiquette are huge in tennis.
But
And-
there,
and,
it's,
like-
it's not always consistent either with like the way they like impose these like sanctions and fines.
Well,
But,
because
yeah, that one-
if you're an athlete at that level, accidentally hitting someone is kind of inexcusable because you have such control. Like I would hit someone in the neck with a tennis ball, but these guys are.
I do it
very
all the
capable.
time. I
Yeah.
mean, no, I'm kidding.
it wasn't like during a point. It was just like he like finished the game and he was like frustrated and he was just hitting the ball back to the
okay.
other
Yeah, when you do
side.
something
Yeah.
in frustration, really, it's only
Yeah.
acceptable if you do it to yourself. If you're like Andrei Rublev, who
Oh my god,
is
I love
this-
Andre.
Is he the
Yeah.
one who
I
wrecked
love
his
him too.
racket?
Yeah,
He
so
does a lot of things. He smacks his own knee.
I don't know how he hasn't broken his own leg yet. He smashes the racket
know.
on himself until it breaks.
I mean, my favorite is like Mikhail Yuzhny, like from 20 years ago when he smacked his own head with a racket and his head
I
just
haven't
started
seen
bleeding.
that.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
It's intense.
Iconic
Tennis
clip.
players are intense.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys both kind of ahead of this submitted like incredible clips from like what it is that makes tennis so dramatic, and it does seem like, but this honestly started. I think Joyce, you tweeted like it was the picture of, was it Nadal and Federer like holding hands and crying?
Oh, that was
together?
from
Crying. Yeah.
the Laver Cup
Yes.
when Raj retired 4 years ago. So,
Yeah, and I can't
They're
remember what the
besties.
context was, but it was something about.
Oh, I
you
tweet
guys-
it all the time. So.
Yeah, I
could be for
love this
anything.
picture. If I look at this picture for too long, I will start crying.
It's the best, and also like it was. I think it was Ellie Goulding, right? Was performing.
Yes,
and, like,
so
so this
Ellie
was when
Goulding was
Ellie
performing.
and this is what they were doing. They were crying and holding hands.
They were there crying, and then Roger Federer said later that he, kind of forgot that all these cameras were on him, and like 17,000 people were in the stadium, and he just reached out and he touched Nadal's hand because they've had such a long career together,
Yeah.
and Nadal hadn't retired yet at that point, but he was on the verge of it. Like he suffered.
But that was
from-
also a great year for him. That was 2022.
It was,
because that was
yeah.
his comeback at the Aussie over Medi, which was insane. And then he won his final French Open that year too. So he was still like okay that year.
I think
Yeah.
Elaine, I came to you to kind of ask to explain it. I was like, oh, so are we like doing heated rivalry thing? And it's like, oh no, it's like actually better than that. They just like deeply love and respect
Yeah.
each other as like
two
the
old
rivals.
warriors.
The best was also like
Sunset.
like Raj did an interview with the New York Times after that, and like it was the question was like, have you seen that photo of you guys holding hands? He's like, yes, I have seen it. It's like, yes, I have seen the photo of me and my husband holding hands.
I have it framed.
So,
in the
yeah,
interview.
what are you talking about?
So what is it about tennis that, like, I don't know if it brings in these personalities, if it creates these personalities? Because clearly it's what makes it so fun to watch too. That like not just drama queens, but they're fun.
Listen, it's because tennis brings the most main character energy to the sport.
You're literally the only person on court.
It's an internal sport. It's not you versus your opponent. It's you versus yourself. Like every ball you hit, whether you're playing or whether you're watching somebody play, it's like, if you are playing singles, you are the main character. All this drama over whether this down the line shot is going to make it, you know, is it going to paint the line? Is your serve going to land in? Everything hinges on your next move. And if you're playing like I do, you have this little narrative that's going on in your head all the time of just like, I have to do this thing and I have to do that thing and I've got to get back at this person. And it winds up creating this just entire story, an entire film in your head over the course of a match. And you can see that play out when you're watching the pros as well.
Yeah, and it is the toughest sport to play. Like, it's obviously not the biggest sport in the US, but it is like by far the toughest sport for any person to play. You need the mental capacity, the mental toughness, you need the physical capabilities, because matches can go on for hours. Like, you cannot run out the clock like you can in basketball.
Let's talk about John Isner.
Oh yeah, we just celebrated the 16th anniversary of 70-68. So like that match went 3 days in Wimbledon, because back then in the fifth set you just kept going until you won by 2 games. Now there's a fifth set super tiebreak in all the slams
because of that match.
Well, yeah, but they kind of tweaked it. Remember, like, I mean, 2019 Wimbledon is like 13 or 14-12 or 20, yeah, 40, like Wimbledon. Yeah, and then they changed it the next year. But yeah, like they went 3 days. Like John Isner and Nicholas Mahut went.
Do they change that because like the ratings go down? Everyone's like, we cannot tolerate this. This is
no. It's just it's unhealthy for the players
to play
too.
Like an 11-hour match.
Yeah, over 3 days. But the craziest part too was that was 2010, and then the next year they drew each other in the first round again. But that just was straight sets for John.
That is actually a total
but like
scenario.
you like people, like if you think about like football, it's like you're not on the field the entire game, you know, like you change like the offense or defense, you know, and it's like you focus on like one skill. But it's like tennis players, like you're on the court by yourself and you have to problem solve by yourself.
The mechanics of every single shot are such that, you know, your grip has to be a certain way. You have to change your grip, whether you're doing a forehand or a backhand. You have to like think about the take back. You have to think about the angle. You have to think about whether you're getting spin on that ball. You have to think about
and like what you want to do after you serve.
Yeah,
you know,
are
you want to serve
change
and volley.
the direction of the ball? Are you going to keep it down the line? Like, and all
the
of
point
this
construction
requires,
too.
Yeah,
because
like point construction.
Yeah, because sometimes you could just have a serve and one, right? If you have a huge serve and a huge forehand, but if you don't have, you know, like that weapon in your arsenal, you need good point construction. Like Martina Hingis, like she read the court like it was a geometry class. Like her angles were insane. Like she had no power, so that's how she won. And she kind of got defeated because of the rise of power tennis with like Serena and Venus.
Racket
and
technology change.
Yeah. But like she was so good at point construction, and Nole too now, like his point construction is insane. Like he has a good serve and forehand, and I mean he's a full court player, but like his point construction, you can like, when I'm watching a long point with him, it's like I can tell like what he's trying to do, you know, and like that's what I enjoy watching with like long points. And like some points are like 44 shots, and I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ, end this. But it requires so much endurance, and like not every, like there's great athletes out there in the world, and like they cannot play tennis. Like they think they can, but they can't.
Yeah, I mean the kinetic chain of things that has to happen within your body to make one shot work it's like literally like 8 or 9 different things that have to go perfectly right, and then you have to keep doing that for every single ball that you hit through what can become like a 4-hour long match, or you know,
a 5-hour and 53-minute match like the 2012 Australian Open final, and they were both hunched over and needed chairs.
Yeah, or cramped
at the ceremony.
Joyce, listening to you talk about this and tell me if it sounds like you being like, well, here's how the SAG awards work, and here's all the eligibility rules, and here's who won in 2019. There is some kind of part of like both of those things that seem to work so well in your brain. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I like remembering data, so like maybe that's it. Like I like remember things. Yeah. So
it's just like seeing how all the pieces fit together. It sounds like tennis is well suited to that, of all those little details you're talking about, Elaine. And then like award season, to understand the entire picture, you kind of have to take the entire thing as a whole. And like casual fans of both never really see the entire thing.
Yeah, I think that's true. And then like in terms of like tennis, like the Grand Slams are like the Oscars or the Golden Globes. Like
Sure.
those are the one that like the mainstream folks follow. So
Yeah.
they don't see the warm-up tournaments leading up to it. They don't see like how this person's clay court season went or their grass court season went, or they don't know that they've been injured and out for 4 months.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh my God, how did they lose first round? It's like, oh, like, he's been injured.
Yeah, like knowing
So-
knowing that Serena Williams is on the drug testing list is like the rumors about who's going to be at the Venice Film Festival coming out in June, and you're like, ah, yes, we all knew that was coming.
Yes.
This is all starting to make sense to me. Wait, so Chris, I was going to throw it to you because we talked about basketball a couple weeks ago. Again, to Sports Corner, June has changed us completely. And like the cinematic nature of basketball, where you can see their faces, you can see how everyone's interacting with each other, and I feel like tennis has that like doubled in terms of just like how the camera can follow people and what you can observe from watching these games versus like football or hockey or something.
I guess I think that's right. I don't watch. I wish I watched more tennis now. Hearing you guys talk about.
Oh,
it,
I'm going to
'cause
watch
it
so much
sounds
Wimbledon. Are
fun.
you kidding?
Monday start.
But I
ready.
mean, I remember like in terms of like that and the aspect, like when I again going back to the '90s and like the '80s, like it was like Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, where these are demonstrative assholes like yelling at umpires and just like it's very interactive. So that's like
You
I was
clearly
just,
have
like,
never seen Andy Murray play a match.
No, I have
so.
not. Probably
He
no.
yells at himself.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm all in on this.
It's
Like
so
the
sweet.
that aspect
But
of it,
he's
I think,
retired,
is really
so.
great. And I think that like is exactly like we're talking about with like the NBA. There is just some kind of like that kind of familiarity, and then also in tennis, like you were saying, like it's such a challenging sport because you're out there all alone too, right? Like it's unless it's a doubles, but you know what I mean. Like it's like a solitary thing versus like you were saying like football or any of these other sports where you have a team and you could take plays off, and it's not as so all of that I think lends itself to this kind of real star thing, and it's great. I don't know. I think it's really good.
I was thinking about how much we love close-ups in movies, and you're like, what are they thinking? Like, what is on his mind in this moment? And tennis is just that, like, over and over again in these tense moments. And if you have all that narrative that you were talking about behind it, like, it's like a whole world.
And you also see like how they behave during the changeover, which is just like 75 seconds. You know, like you don't have a lot of downtime.
Like in the changeover, like is that when they interact with each other, or just
No,
like,
when they
take a
change
little break.
sides.
And so they
okay.
take their little water break. They're each on, different side. You can see whether they're mentally starting to fall apart. You can
They're
see
yelling
when
at their
the heat's
box,
starting to
yeah.
get to them.
My
Yeah.
favorite is when they like Vera Zvonareva, like she would always just put a towel over her.
Yes, the towel over the head is classic. It's just nobody talk to me. I need to regroup right now.
Or if they like need the trainer, like some people are are they try to like it's like gamesmanship. It's like they call for the trainer at like key points. They try to like kill the momentum of their opponent.
Yeah, taking bathroom
Oh.
breaks is like very controversial.
I mean, like Stephanos Tsitsipas, like that is a whole thing with him in bathroom breaks with his dad too.
That was in
so.
King Richard, I remember. Wasn't that a subplot in King Richard?
a long bathroom break that the opponent took.
Yes, right?
Wow.
Wasn't that a part
you
of
can
it?
throw your
Yeah.
momentum, throw the other person's momentum
Yeah.
off.
Good memory for the plot of King Richard that I
That
definitely
movie
did not
exists,
have.
right? Remember? People remember
yeah,
it. It's a great
yeah,
movie. Nothing
no-
went
no-
wrong with
no-
that.
nothing
Everyone's
weird
great. So
happened
celebrated.
as a result
Continually
of that movie.
rewatched. Yeah,
Yeah.
great moment.
Okay, so as I said, you guys brought up a bunch of clips of highlights that I'm thinking the idea is that like why we should invest in tennis. Like here's something you can watch. So Joyce, to start with you, what would you want to show people to get them invested in tennis? Should we do the 2019 Wimbledon one that we talked about a lot?
You can, sure. Yeah, so that was a great final between Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. And Raj.
Is he so okay? So wait, hang on. We know that Federer and Nadal are bros from that photo. Is Djokovic? Are they all tight like that? Like is this
they're closer now, but like when Nole was on the rise, he was seen as like disruptor because everyone loved Raj and Rafa because it was like yin and yang, like fire and ice. They were just so different and just.
And then
people-
in comes this third guy. And
Yeah,
he's
so people are
terrific,
just like-
and they're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, like so he's the third wheel. So he also denied because like Raj and Rafa never played a U.S. Open ever, and like so he denied a matchup
against possibly the greatest
Oh wait, hang
returner.
on. We've got all right. So do we set up the clip or we can? All right, what are we watching, Joyce?
This is so that lady, but the number one. So he has now double championship point for his 21st Grand Slam title. So this lady, so it's just like one more point, and then we get 21, and then I mean you could play.
Okay.
People may know what happens after that.
All right, so this is all come down to this.
That's his wife, Mirka.
Okay.
Please.
The gasp in the crowd.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I need a play-by-play. So what? So he biffed that serve, but that's okay.
That's the first serve in the net, so that was second serve, and then he lost the point because he hit it out. So now it's second championship point.
Okay.
Passing shot. So now it's deuce. We don't need to watch the rest of the game, but basically.
So that lady gave the number one.
Yeah, and Raj did not win that match because Nole came back and won. So it was like, so then after that, it just became like a meme, that lady, like the number one, because like she like jinxed him. And what's funny was last year, Ben Rothenberg, who he has a Substack now, but he's worked at the New York Times, a tennis reporter. He found that lady. Her name is Melanie. And he talked to her about it.
Oh, that's good journalism.
Wait, I haven't read that. What did she say?
She was actually like an umpire, and she was just like there, like she got like invited, and she was just like hanging out with friends.
She's an umpire?
Yeah, and then she was like, I just got like really into it, and she's like, and it was like great because it's like, we all love Raj, and she's like, I didn't even like think about like what I was doing. So then and then she was like, yeah, and then like I checked my phone, I got all these messages.
It feels like very reasonable fan behavior, though. It's not like she's being aggressive.
No, but it's
just
just funny.
I think she'd be on television.
Yeah, but also like the other. I guess we should have led with this instead. But like this is part of the Nole and Raj lore, because in the 2011 U.S. Open semifinal they also played, and 2011 was really Nole's breakout year, even though he had won a slam before that. But that he went gluten free. And then he became number one, and he won 3 of the 4 slams.
Wow, is the gluten-free lobby getting in on this? That feels like
he has a lot of like a very strict diet. Let's put it that way. But
he was also anti-vax during the COVID.
Yeah,
years.
he didn't. He got kicked out of Australia in 2022. So he couldn't. So
maybe we're not taking our health advice from him. Now that I think about it,
what is he? And him and Aaron Rodgers hang out a lot. You think?
No, listen. He didn't tell people not to get vaccinated. Okay. He just didn't get that. He's just very particular about like what he puts in his body.
Oh, they're looking like such babies here.
Yeah.
Joyce, were you at this U.S. Open?
No. Okay. I mean, not at this match.
No,
but
I like that they shush the crowd. That's another good thing about it.
It's true.
Okay, so like now Raj has double match point, and this is the return forehand winner. Like, look at his face because he's like, yeah, I know y'all hate me, because like everyone loves Raj, everyone wants Raj to win.
Does Djokovic stay a villain the whole time? Oh yeah, that's a real like bring it on.
Yeah, it's really only now in his sort of last few years, or what we think are his last few years on court, that
look at that return winner.
Yeah, that's great.
That
he's really become less of a villain and more kind of one of.
Because now he's like an elder statesman. He's 39 now, so look, he's like, give me some love. Yeah.
So Federer and Nadal are done, and Djokovic.
He's seeking number 25, and it's like this is
why rough.
He still has the game, but it's like the body just breaks down. Like he beat Jannik Sinner in the semifinal in Australia this year, which was a crazy match, and then he played lights out the first set in the final over Carlos Alcaraz. And then you could tell like he just got tired, and it was like, and he's like a part-time tennis player now. He basically just plays the slams. And then it was the same thing at the French. Like he didn't win like his first 2 rounds in he won them in 4. They were not in straight sets, so it's just like he's expending too much energy, and he doesn't have the match play. And then he played João Fonseca, and João beat him at 5. He's an up-and-coming Brazilian player too. So, and then like today he's ranked 7th now. So, and then he fell into Jannik Sinner's half, so they can meet in the semifinal. Honestly, if he had landed in Sasha's half, I would have just put them in the final, like the two of them. But
being 39 and ranked 7th feels pretty solid, honestly. That seems like a good bragging
it's
rights.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's incredible.
He's still like actually like top 3 tennis player along with Carlos and Jannik. Like he's better than everyone else, really. Except
it's a little different than say Stan Wawrinka, who is he's also Swiss like Federer, and he's also of that vintage. And he's
retiring this year.
Yeah, he got a wild card to play Wimbledon. It's his last year, and so this is kind of just more of his send-off, year than anything else. Sometimes they give out wild cards to like favorites who are retiring. Yeah. And that's kind of the case for Stan. But I love Stan.
And he's playing. He drew Matteo Berrettini, who's coming back from injury in the first
Big
round.
Italian
and
guy.
Yeah, and he made the semis of the French.
That'll be a tough first match for Stan.
Elaine, what do you want us to watch of the clips that you sent ahead of time? How do you want to sell people?
I
on
would
the
love us
sport?
to watch not an on-court clip, but the British story of the year this year is Andy Murray, now retired legend. He went on very briefly to coach Djokovic last year. I saw them on the practice court at Indian Wells last year, and then they parted ways. Not really sure what happened there, but
drama.
as of the last
I
couple,
think
cool.
he just he doesn't have the time, and it's not like Nole plays a lot anyway,
Right, and it was sort of like they were peers coaching each other.
Yeah, they're friends.
Murray.
Yeah.
yeah.
They were born a week apart.
Wow.
Oh, really? Okay. But now his newest coaching protege is Jack Draper, who's this British young gun. He's 24. Andy Murray is a very old in tennis, 39 now, and they first came to fame as a pair after the Davis Cup a couple of years ago. I think it was 2023 when they were driving home together. Great Britain had just beaten France. And a sort of tipsy-looking Jack Draper is in the car with Andy Murray.
Okay.
When we take a watch.
Oh my God, this multimedia experience is so fantastic.
This is on Instagram. So.
I love it when Instagram does useful things. Okay. To chime into the people who are commenting that Joyce has not officially joined us at the Ankler, but is welcome back on this podcast at all times. Everyone is really hoping.
Joyce is at AEW now, doing a great job.
I am available to be your tennis expert at the Angler. So
No, we already have
You and
Elaine.
You
Yeah,
guys should do a show. That's
you guys
the
got
thing.
to do.
is that your official title, Elaine, tennis expert?
Yeah,
We could just do a
that's what
tennis
they pay me for.
newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish.
God, I mean, look, the Ankler tennis tournament. I witnessed it firsthand. I watched Sean Hattie play. So okay, all right, here we go. Here's
Oh
this
my
clip.
God.
Oh, you got to start.
gotta get
We
sound,
need
though.
we need sound. Sound is important.
Miles an hour would walk.
That's Andy Murray driving, and that's young Jack singing here.
Miles an hour would walk.
And what I love about this clip is Andy Murray.
Hang on, I can't hear Elaine. Here we go. Okay.
What I love about this clip is Andy Murray is kind of known for being this
He's
lovable
sullen.
curmudgeon.
Yeah, he's the best. I love
He's just this brooding Scottish guy who's always mad at himself on the court. He was always my favorite. Outside of the big three, he's the four in the big four.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for the fact that Fed and Rafa were born at the same time, Murray would have won way more Grand Slams than he did.
Yeah, and he busted his hip chasing number 1 10 years ago. He needed a hip
and has
resurfacing
a bionic
surgery.
hip.
Yeah,
he's got ankle stuff.
He half retired in 2019, and then one of the Bryan brothers was like, "Hey, you should just get a new hip like I did." And so he did this hip resurfacing. So he tried to do a comeback, and he just never really got there. And he also got brutal draws everywhere he went. So, and then he just retired after the Olympics, and he had an iconic tweet after he lost at the Olympics in Paris. He was like, "I never liked tennis anyway." So he's the best. But there was one of my favorite Andy Murray moments was there was this clip they asked a bunch of players, because Wimbledon known for strawberries and cream, they just asked them how do you eat your strawberries, and everyone says with cream, and Andy goes with my fingers.
But I like this guy. He also
he's
seems to
great.
have the patience of a saint based on this clip. Not
So it's
throwing that guy
very,
out of the car.
Here's this grizzled old vet and this young pup in the seat beside him, and they're on a 4-hour road trip
In
home.
London, yeah.
Yeah.
That reminded me of that clip. Reminds me of the meme of Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, where she's screaming
And then
she's just sitting back. I don't if I can find it. I don't
Well,
even know how to do that.
so then the part two of this is that Jack has been injured and he's making his comeback this year, and he's playing Eastbourne right now, actually. And when he came on court earlier this week, they played that song as he walked on court. I was like, this is the deep, real ones know this reference, why they're playing it for him. So
I think I did ask you guys to compare some of these tennis people to movie stars to help me understand. Is Jack Draper, is he the Timothy Chalamet I'm looking for, or is there a better?
I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
this
I mean,
with
what are
somebody
we
in here.
defining
Does
as
this work?
Timothy
Does
Chalamet?
this work?
like
This
hot
meme.
young
Yes.
star.
Oh yeah.
That's what I imagine.
Just a
No, I'll
lot.
stop
It's a
sharing.
lot of energy. I mean, that the energy of that clip is not unlike Chalamet courtside at the Knicks, but you know, you can tell me what the better comp is.
I think it would be Carlos Alcaraz, who is like the hottest thing on the planet. Now he's injured. He's not playing Wimbledon. He had to pull
He
out
has
of
a
the
wrist
French Open
injury,
as well.
which
yeah.
wrist injuries are not
That's
to
tough.
be taken lightly because that's what took out Delpo and Dominic Thiem.
It's a very delicate
So you gotta be
area
careful,
to be
yeah.
injured in. Yeah. But like Alcaraz has just been this bright, shining light. I think there was a period of time when the big three were on the verge of retiring where people were like, well, who's going to come in and take their spot? It wasn't the 90s kids that we thought were going to come in. And then, 20-year-old Alcaraz hits the
He was
scene.
19 when he
19,
won
yeah.
US
And it's
Open.
just he's got showmanship. Like, he will
People like
drop
watching
shot.
him, yeah.
Yes, like, he will drop shot an opponent in an era where it's, like, a lot of, like, big, powerful baseline play. He, like, likes to hype up the crowd. Like, he's just a real showman. And the biggest rivalry that has formed in recent years is Alcaraz versus Sinner. And it's very fire and ice, right? Like,
They're
Sinner
also
is-
besties.
Yes, and it's fun because
Oh.
they don't hate each other. They like have this like respect for each other off of the court. And Yannick Sinner is this tall, ginger Italian, and he's always so cool. He looks like an android on the court. Like he doesn't show emotion.
I describe him as a sickly Victorian child because of what happened. Like he like, speaking of endurance, like he can run out of energy, and then he like died basically at the French Open this year. Like
When he
Where is
first
Sinner
started
from?
out,
Sorry.
he's Italian.
He's Italian, but
Okay.
his name doesn't end in a vowel. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Alcaraz is Spanish, like
Yes.
Nadal, and okay,
It's,
so
it's actually rude of Spain to just like, we're done with Nadal, and then we just have this new guy coming in to dominate. So
if you got it, you got it. I'm sorry, I cut somebody off.
Oh no!
Oh no! I was trying to talk about like Sinner at the French this year. Like people thought he was match points up last year in the final against Carlos. And that was an iconic match. That was 5.5 hours.
That was the best final I've ever
And
seen.
Carlos
ever.
came back and won that. So then people because Carlos is not playing this year. Or like he didn't play the French and he's not playing Wimbledon because of his injury. So everyone's like, oh, like Yannick will win the French this year. And he completed the Masters Slam, which only Nole had done previously. Like he won all the 9 Masters series. But then he was like cruising in his third round against like one or second round around Juan Manuel Cerundolo. And then he just hit a wall at 5-1 because it was so hot in Paris. Like Paris had a heat wave and then he lost. And then that was when like everything went disarray in the draw in the French. So then now it's like, oh, like what is up with his fitness, right? And then like there was also like last year he had a short ban because of this like drug testing thing. That he tested positive and then he appealed it.
And he only got a 3-month ban.
Yeah, so then he basically missed the clay court lead up last year. And then he played the French because the band stopped before the French started. So he made the final. So then it was like, oh, maybe he made the final last year and he was able to like be okay for 5.5 hours because he didn't have match play in the spring. But this year, because he played so much to complete the Master Series set, and then plus the heat, like he's had this history of not being able to play in the heat, that he just died.
But you know what? Props to him, a tall, pale, redheaded fellow. For
Yeah,
choosing
that's
a sport that requires you to.
He could
be
have
in
been a
the sun
skier.
for
So it was
4
that or
hours first.
skiing. He's really good friends with Lindsey Vonn, so he chose tennis.
Yeah, he had a whole
Yeah.
other career as being this like championship junior skier before settling on tennis.
Oh, that's not
There's
fair.
video of him, but like winning ski races.
Yeah, it's
So
like
he should be a
13 hair.
sunscreen influencer. If he's like out there with all that, with pale complexion playing in tennis, whatever sunscreen he's using, I want to know.
I love that sunscreen influencing has become a thing in tennis because it
should.
used to be that tennis players didn't really wear sunscreen. Like if you can see the headband tan that
Those
like
are the
Rafa
best.
still has, Tsitsipas has one, but now it's like Taylor Fritz and like all these other guys are sunscreen.
I mean, Taylor
encouraging
had
sunscreen
his
commercials.
boss or his sob last year at the U.S. Open. He's sponsored by Boss, and then during his U.S. Open semi or quarterfinal against Nole, he wore his headband upside down, so it said Sob, so SSOB. And then he lost, and then after that, he's like, "Why did no one tell me?" And then everyone was like, "Oh, we thought that was like your good luck, like charm trying to beat him."
That's funny.
But to go back to your original question, yes, Alcaraz is the Timmy Chalamet. And
Got
I
it.
think if you were to look at really interesting narratives this year, Serena Williams, Djokovic looking for one more title, like this is very like, I've been really into watching these like like F1 and Top Gun Maverick are like my go-to plane movies, right? These like old grizzled guy comes back kind of
like
movies.
I have one more in me.
I got one more. I'm gonna show these youngins how it's done. Like that's Djokovic, that's Stan, that's Serena this time around.
Yeah. So Chris, you read about this for the Ankler a couple weeks ago that like old people won't give up on anything. So this is just based Devil Wears Prada 2 and saying Brandon Priestley's
that's
coming
the
back.
world, right? I think that's it. We're all just waiting to get to go into the gerontocracy. We're waiting to get let in, and then we're like, fuck everybody else.
So
Pull the ladder
tennis
up.
is where the millennial gerontocracy is starting, and then it will continue.
I mean, the big three are all millennials, so like
I know.
like we're all elder millennials, so that's why I feel a kinship to them. So like
Yeah.
I got really sad. I was like, because I still remember like 20 years ago when they were all just like peaking. I was like, I'm gonna be so sad when they retire. And then when Raj retired, I was like, oh, obviously he's the first one because he's the oldest. And then Andy, like, he could still be playing if his body would listen to him, you know, but he had to retire.
Andy retiring made me sad.
Yeah, that was so sad. And then like Rafa, it was like because Rafa has always had injuries. He's always been injury prone, whether his knee.
Yeah, if you've seen the new Rafa
or his foot.
docuseries on Netflix, the severity of those
They actually
injuries,
show like his foot thing.
It turns out he's
like-
had that since he was a kid, and the severity of it is he's just been playing. He had played with chronic pain throughout his entire career.
Oh God.
Like he just gets shot. He would just get injections to deaden the nerve so he wouldn't feel anything.
That's bad. I just don't think you should do that.
I mean, like throughout his career, like he's always like his motto was always is like he enjoys the suffering. That's what he's always said. But like that was just how he played and that's why he was like the complete opposite of Raj, because Raj like never sweat. You never saw him break a sweat, right? Like everything.
He was a ballerina on the court.
Yeah, like the David Foster Wallace essay about him, like that's what it was. It was just like he's floating on air.
Athletes
He
are
was
crazy.
one of the last guys doing a one-handed backhand.
Yeah,
and
I mean
he
Stefanos
would just-
Tsitsipas and Stan Wawrinka still have them, but they're not.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah, but like
they're not as
like
pretty looking
Raj
as
is
Raj is.
like. Yeah, like so it like he's like the tennis ideal. If you actually think of like what people think of Wimbledon, it's like prim and proper, you know, and like that's the way he plays. And Rafa was the complete opposite. It's like everything was effortful. But I think that's what like drew people to him too. It's like we want to see that kind of energy and effort and charisma from people, and like he would just yell vamos after every point. Like he played every point like it was the first point, you know, like it was like it doesn't matter to score. And he was also so superstitious.
And their styles were so different
Yeah.
too. Like Roger would wear, you know, at Wimbledon, he's got these classic outfits that are like sort of like
Oh, the
white
jacket,
cardigan,
yeah.
gold trim. But Rafa would come up with colors. He would wear like bright fuchsia pink and like yellow and.
But when he
teal.
started, he wore the paratas, like the long shorts, like past the knees.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then
Chenkos?
like, yeah, and like the sleeveless tanks, which Carlos tried to bring back last year as like an ode to him. So yeah, like that's also why like people loved the two of them. And then yeah, when like Nole came in, it was like, ugh, he's a disruptor. But I actually think early on, like Nole is also Timothy Chalamet. And because of Timmy's SAG speech last year, when he's like, I want to be great, like he made it known. Like that's why I love Timmy, because like he just has that athlete mentality, and I think that bothers like film Twitter because people don't like that, because it's like they want their actors, like, and especially during FYC season, to be humble and like act like they don't want it, but Timmy wants it, and athletes want it, right? We know every athlete wants to win the championship. They want to win the Grand Slam. And like he put it out there that he wants to be great, and he literally named athletes, right? He named Michael Phelps and Tom Brady, and it's like, and I was like, that's great. And like that was also Nole too, because after he lost the French Open he retired in the French Open quarterfinal against Rafa in 2006, and he gave this press conference. He's like, I actually felt like I was in control of the match. And like everyone was giving him shit at that point. It was like, no. It's like, I mean, he was losing, but like when I watched that, I was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
This is the energy I want from someone who like wants to be great and wants to beat these people ahead of him. And he made himself into a champion, right? And I think like there's like some other like a lot of like the lost gen too. It's like maybe they don't have that extra edge and that like mental toughness to like convince themselves like they're gonna beat these people. It's like you already feel like you're losing before you step on the court because you know you're playing one of them, you know? But like Nole wasn't like that, and I think that's kind of like what pushed him to greatness, and now he has the most slams. Like he's chasing 25.
I'm kind of rooting for him now at Wimbledon. I gotta say, you guys really sold me on this.
He also like turned like he uses like the crowd's like anti energy against it. Like,
He uses it to fuel him.
Yeah, to
and
fuel
he said
him.
that before
Yeah.
in interviews.
Yeah, because like
and
everyone is rooting for, like, especially when he was playing Raj and Rafa, they were always rooting for them. So then
I think he said
Yeah.
once something like, "Oh, in my head, I just kept imagining they were
Yeah.
shouting Novak."
yeah. So I think now it's like weird for him because now, like, as like Elaine was
Now
saying
he is
before,
weirdly
now
beloved.
like people like want him to see him win now. So like he gets more crowd love now, and I think that might be weird for him because they're cheering for him now.
It's gonna mess him up.
Now that
Yeah.
Rafa and Roger are finally out of the picture,
Yeah.
He lived long enough to see himself not become the villain. It's a real twist on the usual thing. We should wrap this up. We obviously have so much tennis to watch in the future. I know we said we'd talk about challengers, but
we didn't even talk about that
Oh my God.
Cincinnati Applebee's.
That was the best part of challengers because that. Yeah, Chris knows about this because I mentioned this like a million times. But that is the attention to detail that I really appreciate because that Applebee's is real. It's no longer there, but that was because the tournament is actually in Mason, Ohio, and that's the Applebee's that all the tennis players went to when it existed.
Yeah, when
and
they play the Cincy Open, they
Yeah.
go there. There's a terrific New York Times story. From,
Yeah, it's
I
from
think,
Ben. Ben did
2014.
it. Ben did it.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and it talks about how like there's really no other place to go, so they all wind up converging on this Applebee's, and there are these hilarious, sweet quotes from all of the non-American players who are kind of just like dazzled by like the portion sizes and
This is
the
like
fact
all the
that there's
World Cup TikToks.
Yeah,
of people getting
exactly,
nachos.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like ranch dressing. Yeah.
I'm just so glad that we're sharing the greatest of our culture with these international players at Applebee's. You can find all of America there, I would say. You guys, this was a total delight. I cannot wait to watch Wimbledon now that I know what's going on. Should we do it again for the U.S. Open?
Oh,
We have
yeah,
the US
absolutely.
Like U.S. Open and Telluride and Venice happening at the same time. Like Joyce, I don't know how you balance all of this. Like, too
Oh,
much happening at once.
I just go to US Open. So,
And you're just
yeah.
like, forget it, Venice. Who
exactly.
needs a film festival
Yeah.
right now?
Because
I'm
you
in
know
LA, so
what?
I'm an Indian Wells gal.
Well,
yeah.
it's California
Desert
bias.
tennis.
So you just hang out with
David.
David Ellison. So
Ha! Well, you know what I love? I love hanging out by the practice courts. You get to see everybody up close and
That's
see how
what-
incredibly powerful
I mean
their swings are.
the US Open, the practice week. Now they've like commercialized it. They call it fan week and everything. But a lot of my friends, like, they didn't know that was free. That you could just go to the practice week, the qualifying week, and you could watch them all practice up close. So now they all go. But
Man.
now, yeah. So like I go like those days. And then like now they have the mixed doubles tournament that week too because they want like the top ranked singles players to play. So like that tournament is
How
like
do
the
you
first
feel
week
about
now.
mixed doubles becoming almost sort of this like exhibition match?
Not
type thing?
great because like doubles is real.
Right.
So-
mixed doubles is real.
Yeah, mixed doubles
and we
is
need
real.
to respect those players, but also we
Yeah.
want more people to watch mixed doubles.
Yeah.
Is mixed
that-
doubles more fun to watch? Should we be watching more of it?
I mean, mixed doubles is fun to play. I think
Mm-hmm.
watching it is just it's a bit of a different mindset than watching singles.
Yeah,
because
same
the
thing with
points are
doubles,
so much
too.
faster, and
Yeah.
I think it's harder to root for one person. I think because there are 4 people on the screen and not 2. I mean, that's my theory as to why it's not as popular as singles.
Yeah, especially if like one person on the team is flopping, so it's like like that it's like that's
You know who the
reason-
weak link is.
Yeah, so it's like frustrating. Whereas like if it's like one person, it's like okay, then you're having a bad day, or like you could just tank this set and focus on the next set or something, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, doubles is like a completely different mindset when you're watching too.
Well, watching Venus and Serena play doubles at Wimbledon, that alone.
Well,
What
that
day-
will be fun.
What
They
day is
have
that
a good
happening?
draw. I don't think they've scheduled that yet, but Serena's first match is Tuesday because
Okay.
she's in Iga's half and she's defending champion. So Iga will play Tuesday, and Yannick, because he's defending champion, he'll play Monday. So that's the top half.
I'll be ready. World Cup and tennis
Yes.
happening at the same time. It's been the excellent sports summer really does continue. Thank you guys so much for doing this. Please do it again soon, and then also talk about awards and everything
Yes,
else.
please.
And
Anytime.
yes, go read Joyce at Entertainment Weekly and Elaine reporting about all the things we need to know about television. And me and Chris basically right here. Emmy nominations right around the corner. So we'll be
Can't
back
wait.
before you know it. All right. Thanks everybody, and thanks everyone for joining us live if you were here.